Welcome back to another episode of our TFN podcast. Today we have Naveen Chopra, TFN Realty. He is, you're a broker, correct?
Broker now, yes.
Broker with TFN Realty and actually our very new sales manager. So congrats on the promotion as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on today, and thank you for giving me the role of manager.
Great.
That's something I was striving for a while, and the opportunity presented itself, and I was fully on board with it, especially knowing the team I was working with.
Yeah. So you were with TFN, then you left for a period of time, and then you've recently come back.
Yes.
But before we go into all of that, can we start sort of just your journey? How did you get into real estate? How did you start and why?
Yeah, great story. Well, probably not a great story to everyone else, but for me, I came from a background of business with my parents, helping them run their business. And then years in, it was time to go out and do my own thing. And I always had a passion for real estate, but it comes from my parents. They always loved real estate. I remember being young, and Sundays was driving to the big houses and looking at these castles and mansions. And I think that's where that love comes from. And then, fast forward, trying to pick a career, and I always wanted to do resale. So I first got into the industry thinking I was going to do resale, but it didn't last long. I was shadowing someone that we all know, Nicole Lombardi, and I was doing an open house for her, but I had to pick up her open house signs from a sales office that she was managing.
Okay.
So I picked up these open house signs, went to do this open house that got 0 walkthroughs, very defeated, my first open house. Went back to the sales office to drop off the signs. But when I went into the sales office at that time, they now opened. And there was a buzz. People were interested. People were buying their first new homes, new immigrants, people upsizing. It just had such a vibe to it, especially coming from open house that did 0 walkthroughs. So I went the next day and I was like talking to Nicole how the open house went. I didn't even want to speak to her. I was like, yeah, nothing happened there. But what was like where I picked up the signs from? What was going on there? Like, was that like a grand opening or something? No, that was just a sales office for the builder we work with. Like, why are you interested? I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh, that's interesting because I'm hiring.
Wow.
And straight into new home sales from there. And it's been 15 plus years of the love for new home sales and just wanting to progress my career there.
And you never went back to resale?
I'll do resale. Friends and family only. I have a few referrals here and there that I'll take on if they're close enough to my friends or family that say, can you help them out? I do participate in it. So I do have a background in resale, listing, and buying. I do enjoy that too, not as much. My expertise comes in new construction.
And what would you say was some of the biggest challenges that you had when you first started in pre-construction?
So when I did first start, as I said, I seen this big, busy real estate office. Fast forward to that same summer and crickets. And I was working with someone at that time.
That's when you asked to go back to the resale open houses.
No, not even there. I still didn't give up. I still wanted to learn why, how, and how do we change this. And at that time, I was being mentored by someone who's also at TFN Realty.
Okay.
He took me under his wing, but that summer he went on a prolonged vacation. So I was alone for almost a month, I would say. And crickets a month, questions being asked, what's going on? And obviously their thoughts were, hey, the senior left. What are you doing? Like, I swear I'm trying. There's no one walking through. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. But it was a great learning moment. It was being able to self-motivate too, and being able to explain to upper management what's happening and why we're not seeing that same volume come through. So,
and I think you brought up a good point that, in these times when it's quiet at the sales office, our job is not to just nurture the people that walk through the door, but also be proactive to help drive traffic as well.
Yeah.
And that can be challenging to think of new innovative ways to do that as well. So that's good that you were able to turn it around.
Yeah, it was a good experience right
Yeah.
off the bat, and it really, I think, molded me for my career from there on, because I got to experience busy sites, slower sites, and got to fill in at some sites that weren't doing as well. My first senior role came because of that. It was the site that was not doing as well as they expected, and they decided to give me a chance with it. I was able to turn it around as the site on Danforth and Danforth, great intersection. But yeah, and then it was a hit. It was priced right. I believe marketed it wrong, but once we got in there, we started getting it moving along.
Amazing. What was, and I've also been in pre-con for many, many years, and I think we all have like this one community or one launch that really stands out in our minds. That was like incredible, fun, exciting. Is there one that stands out for you?
Yeah, and you're probably gonna get the same answer from two other people. It was Box Grove. I believe it's 2009. It was a launch of our semis. And the atmosphere is something that we still strive for. If you ask Nicole Labardi the same story, I'm sure she'll come up with the same answer. It was one feeding off the other, smiles while one person's being pulled out a door because people are in lineups all day. The other person's being asked 1,000 questions, and then we have 1,000 people knocking down the door to buy. And prices are being raised every 10. No one cares. People are selling spots in their line. It was before all of this was a norm.
Yeah.
And it was a norm for a long
Yeah.
time. But before that, it didn't exist. So it was new. It was exciting. And just the way our team hammered through with it, with a smile at the end of the day, we popped a bottle of champagne. It was just an incredible experience I don't think I'll ever forget.
Yeah.
And it was my first opening. So
Oh,
it just,
wow.
yeah, so
What a
many
great
things
time.
in one that, yeah, I'll never forget that. That'll always stand out.
Such high energy, such an adrenaline rush the entire day.
Yeah.
I know what you describe. At the end of the night, everyone's around. It's a team huddle, team meeting. You pop that bottle of champagne, you're celebrating, and you still, like, you can't, even when you get home and you try to go to sleep, your heart is still going. Like, you still
you can't
want to.
believe it. You're
Yeah.
like, oh my God. And especially being the first time it was that experience, it was so exciting. I mean, we just had a great launch like that at Riverland. It was exciting. Everyone was on the floor. Everyone was talking to upper management, to management, sales, admins were helping in. It was just that feeling. I think it's been a while since we've had it the last few years. We haven't had those huge openings where we're having these 40, 30 sales, a little bit of a lineup. It was nice to feel again.
Do you think that market is coming back? Where do you think we're at? And I know you can't predict the future, but where do you think we're at right now and where we're going?
I feel it coming back. I see the turn. I mean, the urgency to the lineup part's not there, which, you know what, sometimes it's great because people are actually coming in and getting to talk to us and getting to pick a floor plan they actually want, and they're not sacrificing. They're actually getting what they want. They're asking the right questions. They have a good feeling when they leave because they got the attention they wanted. So it's a good medium right now, I think. And we're seeing the turn towards the market picking up, especially with pre-construction, knowing that it's closing a year or more from now. So they have confidence in that and knowing that, hey, we'll have better rates, payments, in the future. Let me get in now. But being able to give them the service they want and them receiving it, you can see the appreciation, and we have to appreciate it too, because sometimes we know people are sacrificing to buy their home, whether it be their first move up or last. It's not something they should sacrifice on. So it's a good feeling that they actually get the time to pick out a floor plan, review it with their family, make a call to their mother, and excitingly say, "Oh, I got the one I wanted." It's a nice feel.
Yeah. And they're making informed decisions, like you said.
Exactly.
More likely to make the right decision, and come closing, that process should be seamless and successful. So, yeah, I agree with you.
And it's exciting. And you see the excitement in their face, too, and the happiness, not the disappointment of, I didn't get what I wanted, or people leaving because we're sold out. Right?
How many years with TFN? It's been since the beginning with TFN, or
Well, I was with for the 15 years. The first 7, I was with Remax Premier, and then after that with TFN. So 8 years now with TFN.
okay.
Yeah.
And Diana was talking about it. Can you? I know you left like 3 months or something like that prior.
Almost a
And
year in
oh, it was a
between.
year. Okay.
Um,
Can you tell us a little bit about? I think it was like a familiar project or something like that.
Yeah, so I left in between. I would say at the end of a site that we're doing with the high rise team here at TFN, the opportunity came up working with someone very familiar, Nicole Lombardi, who gave me my first start. Um, so I took that opportunity on to be the face of the sales team there, along with Maurizio. Um, and great turnaround story.
Yeah.
The 3 of us are back at TFN with a new builder partner
Yeah.
with Calibrex too. So you know what? Things happen for a reason. You take that step forward, and sometimes you come back to the team that you think works best.
Yeah. And I think it's a testament to these strong partnerships and relationships.
Yeah.
Look how many years you've worked with Nicole,
Yeah.
like your entire career.
Yeah,
It's pretty
yeah.
amazing.
We leaned on each other. We talked in between, whether we're at different builders or different brokerages. We always kept that relationship going, and yeah. Well, she was with TFN too before.
Yeah,
She's the one
yeah.
that brought me over again. So it's nice to see that we find a way back to this partnership that works, and we're both very happy to be back at TFN too.
Exciting
I
time.
think getting that process going, and that builder brokerage is different. A new pre-construction brokerage is completely different, I think, than just a resale brokerage. The support is really appreciated.
And working so many years as a real estate agent, now working in the management or leadership side of the company, how do you think was first that transition, and second, how do you feel now in that position?
I like it. I always wanted to be in that position where I could be a leader, and now I think with the years of experience, I know I could teach a lot more, educate on my experiences, but I'm always open to learning from others. So I see such an advantage of learning from the new generations. They're so tech savvy. Like
Yeah.
I'm working hand in hand with Adam, and he has taught me so much, and I hope he'll probably say the same. I have taught him so much of
Yeah.
different aspects of growth between the two of us, and the partnership of both of us are now managing together, and it's just a seamless process where we continue to learn from each other.
And I think that's what we've created now is a management team. And we all have our own skill sets. We all have our own strengths and our weaknesses. And we all complement each other on that. And we're all different ages too. So,
Exactly.
and I can totally relate. My 10-year-old is teaching me all about TikTok. And this is how I learn about
Yeah.
transitions and filters and overlays and all kinds of stuff from my 10-year-old. I have no idea.
But it takes that willingness to learn too, and it's just being that team player. And I always believed, even when I was on the sales team, that not everyone should do every role.
Absolutely.
Some do some better and some. So focus on what you're strong at and build on what you're not. But if you're a team player, that's gonna come.
And even on the pre-con sites, I'm sure you've worked with a partner, most communities,
Yeah.
most builder sites that you were on. And that is also a very special dynamic because it's important to find a partner that can complement your weaknesses, right? And vice versa.
Yeah, it's something that you can learn from each other. You have weaknesses, they have strengths, vice versa. Also, just synergy. I would say that what the partners I work best with are the partners that I'm checking in when I'm at home. They're checking in with me, and we're making a phone call on the drive in, not because we have to, but because you end up becoming this friendship forms out of your work relationships, but it leads to more than that, and you just want to see each other advance in your careers, and you help each other every step of the way.
Absolutely.
Those are the best partnerships I've seen. throughout my career.
And about tech, where do you see technology evolving in our industry?
Oh, uh, I wouldn't say taking over, but definitely evolving and helping us succeed and streamline all of our processes and making it easier for ourselves, but easier for our purchasers too. Like we're selling so widely across Ontario using technology to sell helps. Being able to show someone a floor plan, seamlessly just sending it to them with an email or just having it live already, like we're working on, everything at their fingertips, making it easy, having the answers, the questions answered before they even get to you, or at least them having questions about what you have sent them and them being prepared rather than having this back and forth that results in a lot of trips and a lot of lost time.
And are you afraid of AI?
No, I actually like it. I haven't got my subscription yet to
ChatGPT?
Yeah, but I use my wife, so it's all right. I always laugh. I'm like, she's my my other tech whiz. If I don't have Adam, I have Vanessa. It's I lean on them, but I learn while they're doing it, right? So I like learning. He's very proud of me. I made my first live price list while he was away,
Wow.
so I'm very proud of myself too.
Good job.
But yeah, so I like I said, I always want a team has that willingness to learn because I have that. Right, there's a desire to learn and grow
And share,
and
right?
share,
And
yeah.
also other team members to share their experiences and their talents. And, you know, I think in real estate, traditionally on the resale side of the business, it's very much, it's a lonely business. You spend a lot of time alone. You know, there's some resale agents that are in partnerships or small teams, but I think that's what makes the pre-con side so beautiful because it's a true team. We're never alone. Even if we want to be alone, we
You're
can't
not
be
going
alone.
to be. There's always someone.
Exactly.
But it's nice. There's always someone checking in. You don't feel like all the burdens are on yourself. There's someone to run things by, processes by, ideas by.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling.
And it's difficult to learn when you're by yourself, right? To find that inner motivation, that inspiration, the drive to just learn what's happening in the marketplace or new technology or apps. And we've also tried to build that out or start to build that out in our resale side of the business with our sessions and our training and
Yeah.
forming, even though we're all independent contractors, we're still one team. We're one TFN. So sharing ideas, because that's how you really learn is off of each other.
Well, that's what makes a great brokerage, right? You're doing that same team kind of idea. Although you're doing your own resale, you're doing your own listing. Some do have teams together, but you come together during your trainings and your meetings, and you rely on each other to learn from too.
Yeah. And you don't have to be threatened by, you know, your colleague or your
Yeah.
other agents in the office because we're all here to support each other.
Exactly, and that's what makes a great brokerage. Like you're working together, not against each other, and you see that here with the teams here. Whether even if it's between the resale agents and the pre-construction agents, we all still work together because we grow together. And
It is very unique, actually.
It is. It is a nice situation where
Yeah.
you have those bonds with agents that you don't always see, but they're participating on sites with us, and we love helping them because they're bringing clients to us, and we're nurturing their clients for them.
Yeah.
It's a great
We're
relationship.
one team.
Yeah.
Very cool. I want to talk about the future. Where do you see yourself? And I know this is a really hard question because I find it challenging for myself too.
I think I already
Where do you see yourself in 5-10 years?
I think as a whole, as where I see our team, like what we put together over the last couple of months and how everyone came together, and the ideas and ideals behind everyone is to grow our builder partners and to grow our roles in between. The hopes are we have so many builder partners that we all have the roles that we're desiring and grow into.
Yeah.
So I just see us, the whole brokerage, growing together, and the team that's come together now, just getting more pieces to it too. I don't think we're done yet. I think
agree.
where we want to go, there's going to be a lot more pieces to put together,
Mm-hmm.
and there's going to be a lot of opportunity for everyone to grow into what they want and kind of mold their own roles.
Yeah, very true. We're in this creative stage right now.
Yeah,
And that's what makes our job so exciting because we can build. And,
exactly.
we don't have a blueprint for it. We're
No, I don't.
creating and brainstorming this all together.
Yeah, there's brokerages out there that are pre-construction brokerages, but I think we're unique to that because we have both aspects of it. We're also resale. We encourage both,
Yeah.
and like you said, there's no real blueprint to where to grow this out because there's never a perfect situation
Yeah.
or a perfect idea to follow. We get to make our own.
Mm-hmm. And on a personal level, professional development and personal development, where would you like to maybe focus in on, and is there an area of your life that you want to learn more about, grow?
Yeah, there's a few things. One, I think I always wanted to do is get better in anyways, is public speaking. So I am going to start looking into speech classes.
Yeah.
I was really good at it when I was younger. I don't know what happened. I actually went on to like regional speech and from grade 3.
Wow.
And then just,
Really?
I have no clue how.
Wow.
It was a great speech.
Wow.
It was something, it was about Nintendo, something I was really passionate about. And I think maybe it just came out. And after that, it dwindled away. But it's something I always wanted to do. And there's a few others within the brokerage I think want to do the same. I know
Yeah.
Raj and I have talked about it.
I'll join that one too.
Yeah, we got to find
It's
something.
a
Maybe it's something
challenge.
for everyone in the brokerage to join in on, and we could do a training on. But I think it is challenging, and but it's worthwhile for someone, especially in sales.
Isn't that amazing? We're salespeople and we're so outgoing and we love to socialize. And yet, when you put us in front of large groups, it becomes a challenge.
Completely different. Like it's
Yeah.
you put us in a small group and talking, we could go on for hours. You put us in front of a room and say, "Hey, speak to them." I think that's what it is. It's speaking to them instead
Yeah.
of speaking with. And we're all comfortable speaking with someone.
True.
Gets a bit nerve-wracking speaking to.
Too.
Yeah.
And it's a one way. Right?
Exactly. So
you're
you're
speaking
carrying
and
the
you're
full.
not receiving anything in
Yeah.
return. I actually had this conversation with my son because he has severe difficulty presenting in front of his class. He has almost fainted a couple of times. The teachers have called me. And so whenever he has a project and he has to present, he will lose that mark. He won't even get
He
it.
doesn't even want to. Yeah.
And so he's upset because he's a perfectionist. I said, look, some people are really good at it and others it's a challenge. So we started talking and I said, look, mommy has the same issue. What is it for you? Like, is your mind, we always describe it, is your brain telling you things? Like, do you hear? And he's like, yeah, I hear like, you don't know what you're talking about. You're stupid. You look like an idiot. And we're so hard on ourselves.
Yeah.
And I have those similar thoughts as well. And I think social media has had something to do with that because being critical of others and critiquing others and commenting on others is so easy now. You can do it on every single
It's
platform.
the worst thing to read the comments through on
Correct.
someone's
Correct. And it's not
post.
necessarily our post. I read the comments.
On someone else's. and
So
you're
if they're saying that about other people, they could be thinking this about me.
yeah, I don't want to post.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to put
Yeah.
myself out there and
Yeah.
hear those negative comments towards myself. No, and that I think that's exactly what happens. I presented yesterday that maybe for a minute or two.
Yeah.
And yeah, the thoughts go through and then you start losing yourself,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And if you don't have that practice, I think a lot of it comes with practice and having the opportunity to be in those situations.
Yeah.
You'll get better and better as you go through them. But yeah, I think it's natural for everyone to have those thoughts of running through your heads while you're presenting when you're not used to presenting because you're going to question yourself.
And when I see these like really good presenters, like people who love to speak in front of people, who could go on forever and ever, I'm so envious. Like I wish I had just a little bit about that because I have great things to say.
Yeah.
I just can't say them.
No. Were you there for the marketing part at Canfield? The two,
No, I don't
they
think so.
carried the conversation so well. Me and Raj, that's where it came up from. We're like, is it natural? Is it something they took a class for? Because it came out so fluently. and there was no cue cards, and I was expecting a teleprompter to be somewhere. How like it was a 3-minute speech. I was like, this is incredible, but they just really knew how to carry themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. It's practice. It is something that we should look into as a team to do.
Nav, one question that I love to ask to all our guests here in the podcast is an advice for new agents, because our audience, we have a lot of new agents and people with so many years of experience. I think it's really beneficial for our audience to hear any advice. What would you say? It's a great advice for new agents.
A few things. One, you probably learn nothing during your course. So every experience you have, do those open houses, shadow people, shadow a senior sales agent if they're willing to take you on. And most are. Most want to share that knowledge with you. Take that opportunity. Also, when the good times are good, save some money. They're not always going to be good. There's ups and downs in the market, and they affect us too. So be wary of that. Enjoy the good times, but save for the rough times. Also, keep educating yourself. The best agents I know are the ones that are constantly educating themselves and learning new technology and using the new technology to further themselves and their business.
Totally. Yeah. And also, you very good advice and point. When the times are good, they're good. When they're down, make sure you've saved. But at the same time, always maintain consistency in your work. So even though the results aren't there, giving it your all, the same you would in the good times, it's consistency.
Well, it's funny you say that. I've been saying for the last 2 years that in the good times, you probably put in less work than in the rough times.
Yeah.
You'll find yourself, especially in the new sales side of it and resale, both sides. I'm not that experienced with the resale side of it lately, because I like I said, it's friends and family. But I find myself doing way more work now. The reach out is 10 times more than it was before. The follow up with the registrants is more. All the work is amplified when times are not as good or in a down market. Your efforts just have to be amplified.
Yeah, totally. Lastly, what is the best part of what you do?
I think it's what we do, what we sell, and it's probably most people's biggest decision or biggest purchase in their life. And doing that first time buyer or that experienced buyer even telling me that, hey, this is my house, this is my last buy, this is the house I plan on retiring in, and just being able to help them through that process, it's a rewarding job.
Yeah. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. And you're right. We're part of people's one of their biggest, if not the biggest, buying decisions of their lives. Yeah. And we get to know so much about people's lifestyles, their family, their relatives.
And whether they're experienced or the first time buyer, you still see that joy within them knowing they're buying a house. It's just something about the process and knowing they're going to spend years in this home, and it's a joyful moment for them, and you feel it.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for being part of our team. I know that you're going to do amazing in your new role as a manager. You have a lot of experience and skills to share with the team, so we're very happy to have you.
Thanks for having me.